Surprising result between the Packers and the Browns, taking to the 27 seconds left in the fourth quarter. We're tied at 10. Brandon McManus tries from 43, but it's blocked. The Browns jump on it. And how about that? Taking a look at it, slow motion. It is no good. So same score, 2 seconds left. Andre Schmidt, 55 yards out. Remember week 1, he smoked a couple. This one is good. And the Browns stun the Packers 13-10 the final. Joe Flacco fired up. Micah Parsons, not so much. Take a listen.
This is all part of adversity. Undefeated seasons, like, they're hard. Let's be real. And sometimes, just like today, that's just the reality of it. Like, it happens to the best teams. You know what I mean? Even the best Super Bowl champs make mistakes, and they pay for it early. You know what I mean? You go back to the history of the champions and who they played and games they should have won. It's just part of being natural. It's that competitive. It's that hard to win. Like, it's hard as hell to win football games. So when you win football games, it's a celebration. But when you lose, it sucks.
I guess that makes sense. He probably feels better losing this than losing the game that the Cowboys did that we'll talk about in a minute, but I digress. We showed you the good on Sunday, so now we're pivoting to the bad, guys. And when we talk about the Packers, Pete, you've loved this team. This is your Super Bowl representation for the NFC. In your opinion, what went wrong for them today?
The offense. The offense was terrible. And they got brutalized. The quarterback got brutalized up front. The offensive line was awful. He got sacked 5 times. He got hit many more times. And his 2 longest completions were, he had the one shot down the field to Golden, but he had a dink that, Jacobs turned into a long play. Then they don't throw the ball down the field. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that they're getting pressure up front. And if they can't protect Jordan Love, he's not going to be able to make those throws down the field. They got to be better on the offensive line, or else it's going to be a season-long problem.
Yeah, I think Pete's right. It definitely was the offense that lost them this game. But as I'm looking at the stats, they were 10 for 18 on third down compared to Cleveland's 4 of 13. They controlled time of possession. They had the ball for 34 minutes to Cleveland's 25 minutes. So what does that tell me? There's leaks and breakdowns in your offensive game plan. Yes, you can convert on third down, but if you can't turn it into points, that doesn't really matter. You talk about Jordan Love getting sacked as many times as he did. Well, let's talk about the run game. Josh Jacobs had 16 carries for 30 yards, average of 1.9 a carry, and this is one of the best backs in the league. So this was a huge letdown from the offense, but we have to give a lot of credit to the Browns, because with everything that I just said, them being on the flip side of that, they found a way to win. And I want to give a special shout out to Quinshon Judkins, because he has just injected himself into this offense, and he looks like he's already been in the league for some time. I remember I said around draft time, I think Quinshon Judkins may be more ready for the NFL style of play than Travion Henderson. And what we've seen so far between the 2 backs in the season, one game for Quinshon Judkins looks a lot better than what Travion Henderson has been able to put out so far.
I'll say this, and this may be outlandish to some until you really look deep into it. I don't think Green Bay's played a defense like Cleveland's defense.
No.
I don't think they've played a defense that is good schematically and has the level of talent. Looking at it, coming into this week, Cleveland's defense ranked first in total yards allowed per game, rushing yards per game, rushing yards per attempt, first down efficiency, and explosives allowed. You talked about Green Bay's offense and how stagnant they were. Green Bay's offense only had 231 total yards, 81 yards on the ground. They averaged 2.6 yards a carry. They were 11 of 21 on first down efficiency, and that's getting 4 yards or more on first down. And then they only had 5 explosives, and they had been living off of explosives in those earlier 2 games. So I don't think Green Bay had played a defense quite as good as this Cleveland Browns defense and the show.
All right, well, they will play the Cowboys next week. I'm sure there will be a lot of fireworks in that one. I do want to talk about the Texans, though, really quick, guys. 0-3. The last time that happened was 2020, and they fired their head coach after that. So, Rand, when you think about what's going wrong for C.J. Stroud and the Texans, is this life support at this point for the season, or how are you feeling?
Yeah, this offense is really struggling. And for this defense to be playing as well as it is, I think they've given up 2 touchdowns in each of the 3 games this year, and they've held opponents to 20 points or less. And this offense is supposed to be able to score at least 21 points to close out these games, and they haven't been able to do that. And so I really think that they're struggling on offense right now.
Look, again, it goes back to what we just talked about with the Packers. If you can't protect your quarterback and you can't run the ball consistently, you're not going to win. Their offensive line, they put a lot of time and effort and energy to upgrading it, and it's worse. They're not any better up front. If you can't block, C.J. Stroud's eyes are coming down. He's missing throws. We talk about this. They don't have anybody that can really stretch vertically other than Nico Collins. They have problems. This is not, and their schedule is brutal.
So that's where I was going next. We got about 30 seconds here, Dame. Titans, Ravens, Seahawks, 49ers, Broncos is the upcoming schedule. Level of concern for the Texans?
I'd put it at about a 7 right now, just because of what we're talking about and the lack of efficiency on offense, the lack of playmakers. I mean, Nick Chubb, I hate to say this because I have so much respect for Nick Chubb. He's a shell of his former self, and he's your leading carrier right now. So your run game's not going very well. Nico Collins is your only threat at the receiver position. What is C.J. Stroud supposed to do? I know we talked a lot about his sophomore slump, and now we're still waiting to see him get over that. But when you're this depleted with resources around you, then what is the guy supposed to do?
It is certainly going to be tough, but I tell you what, it's going to get a little bit uglier after the break because we've seen the good, we've seen the bad, and there is still a lot worse that we saw today. Michael Penix, what a tough day out. He makes the Panthers look like a Super Bowl team, and the Bengals, my goodness, we'll break it down when you come back to Game Day Recap.